At an age when most men are still searching for their place in the world, one young king had already begun to change history forever. He crossed deserts, climbed mountains, and shattered empires that had stood for centuries. His name still echoes across time. This is the story of Alexander the Great, the man who conquered the world. Alexander was born in 356 BCE in the ancient kingdom of Macedonia. From the very beginning, his life was shaped by ambition and legend. His mother, Olympias, told him that he was descended from gods, while his father, King Philip of Macedon, trained him in the art of war and leadership. These influences planted the seeds of greatness long before Alexander ever wore a crown. His most important teacher was the philosopher Aristotle. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander studied philosophy, science, politics, and literature. He developed a deep admiration for Greek culture and believed it should be spread across the world. Even as a boy, Alexander showed unusual courage and intelligence. At the age of 16, he led soldiers into battle for the first time, proving that he was already a leader among men. In 336 BCE, King Philip was assassinated, and Alexander became king at just 20 years old. Many believed he was too young to rule. Enemies rose against him, hoping to break Macedonia apart. Alexander acted swiftly and without hesitation. Rebellions were crushed, rivals were eliminated, and his authority was firmly established. Once his kingdom was secure, Alexander turned his attention eastward toward the greatest power of the ancient world, the Persian Empire. Alexander did not seek conquest alone. He sought glory, immortality, and a place among the legends of history. Leading an army of approximately 40,000 men, he marched into Asia to face a Persian force many times larger. Against overwhelming odds, Alexander achieved stunning victories at the battles of Granicus, Issus, and Gaugamela. His tactics were brilliant, combining disciplined infantry, powerful cavalry, and bold leadership. Alexander fought at the front of his army, risking his life alongside his soldiers. This fearless leadership inspired unmatched loyalty. City after city fell before him, and the once mighty Persian Empire collapsed. In a few short years, Alexander had achieved what no one else had dared to imagine. Yet conquest was never enough for him. Alexander pushed farther, into Egypt, where he was welcomed as a liberator and crowned pharaoh. There, he founded the city of Alexandria, which would become one of the greatest centers of knowledge and culture in the ancient world. He then marched through vast deserts, harsh mountain ranges, and into the distant lands of India. The journey was brutal. His soldiers were exhausted, far from home, and worn down by years of constant war. Still, Alexander pressed forward, driven by an unending desire to reach the edge of the known world. Only when his army refused to march any farther did he finally agree to turn back. By that time, Alexander ruled an empire that stretched from Greece to Egypt and from Persia to India. It was the largest empire the world had ever seen. Behind the legend stood a complex man. Alexander was ruthless in battle, yet deeply loyal to his companions. He respected foreign cultures and encouraged unity between peoples, even promoting marriages between Greeks and Persians. He dreamed of a world without division, ruled by shared culture and purpose. But endless war took its toll. Years of wounds, stress, and ambition weakened him. In the city of Babylon, in 323 BCE, Alexander fell seriously ill. Within days, at just 32 years old, the greatest conqueror in history was dead. Alexander left no clear heir, and his empire soon fractured among his generals. Yet his legacy never faded. Greek culture spread across 3 continents, shaping art, science, politics, and education for centuries. Military leaders and rulers throughout history studied his campaigns, seeking to understand his genius. Alexander the Great lived fast, conquered fiercely, and died young. But more than 2,000 years later, the world still remembers his name. Because some men do not simply live in history, they become history.